That was kind of. All right.
Thank you for coming, brother. For sure. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, bro.
So we're here today to just chop it up, talk about the real world, what's going on, reach the youth. So why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
So my name is Alexis DeLuna. I was raised here in Bakersfield, born in the Valley, but basically grew up here, all my life.
Right.
Yeah, you want me to talk about introduce or just my name or?
I mean, tell them a little bit about your background, about growing up around here.
Okay. So yeah, I moved to Bakersfield when I was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really get to experience much of living in the Valley, but all my sisters, I grew up with 3 sisters, and they experienced more of the lifestyle out there. But yeah, basically I was raised here. My mom and dad brought me over here. They decided to move out here when I was 5, and my parents, they always supported me in everything I did. They're very supportive, and I think growing up, I grew up on the southwest side of Bakersfield, and I was a very energetic kid growing up, full of energy. So I was always very in Spanish they call it imperactivo. So I was very imperactivo, and I remember growing up, I was just very full of energy, bro, and couldn't sit still.
No, I feel it.
So my parents they were trying to put me in a sport or something, and I remember I tried soccer for a little bit and it didn't really catch my attention like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then
but you, excuse me, part of your background was that you boxed for a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So from soccer, did you go to boxing?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried because my uncle was a soccer coach, so in the summertime I would go to my cousin's house, and it's in the summertime when I would kind of like he would kind of take me to the practices and all that. So I kind of got a feel for it, but it wasn't really my forte. I didn't really like it a whole lot. It was cool, it was fun, but
which is important as a kid. Yeah. You have to like what you do.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if it's a sport.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy it, because if you don't, now your childhood, it suffers a little bit.
For sure. Yeah.
But that's part of what we're doing here, is reaching out to the youth.
For sure.
What would you say, growing up around here in the Southwest?
Yeah.
What advice would you give to these youngins coming up?
Yeah, I like how you brought up the point of you gotta like it, right? It's gotta be something that you're, the passion, right? The passion, I think, is what fuels the goals and the aspirations you have. It's that passion that fuels it. And of course you also need like the structure of things, like that's important as well. But I think you gotta have both. You can't just have the passion without the structure, and you also can't just have the structure but you don't got the passion for it. I think it takes both. Like, you got to have that passion of fuel, and then you also have to have that structure of somebody, like the structure of taking you to a practice, like just the structure behind any sport you're in.
Especially as a kid.
As a kid, yeah.
You're barely learning structure.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Yeah.
But so do you have any role models that helped you?
Yeah. Honestly, just my parents. My parents, they were always very supportive. They were hard workers, bro. Like my parents, I remember, I would go, my mom, she would always work. My dad would always work, and growing up, I would go cut the grass with my dad, and they would even take me to they had a little business in LA, and I would go with them every Saturday, and I was always around they showed me how to I was always around people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of had their own business around money and that, things like that. So just seeing my parents and how hard they work, I think that was, inspiring for me. They just taught me how to work hard. And for my dad, it was work hard. He taught me how to work hard. From my mom's side, she was always instilling in me you, anything you put your mind to, you could do it. She was always the one telling me like you know, like you have a purpose, and like you're set apart, and she was just always she would be the one encouraging me, right, fueling that passion, right.
Right.
And for my dad, it wasn't really much of like him saying anything. It was more so his actions, and him just showing me like hard work, and like, and so I think they were my mentors growing up. My parents, you know, they were the best example that I think I had growing up. But yeah,
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Because me growing up, I grew up in Arvin.
Yeah.
And out there,
Yeah.
it's a little tough to put yourself into business and hobbies and sports, because out there it's all about work.
Yeah.
All about the fields, all about making ends meet.
Yeah.
So my father, he kind of he did the same. You know, he showed me how to work.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. He just basically showed me how to work hard, keep your head down, and just grind, right?
Yeah.
Whereas my mother, because we had to make ends meet, she did show me like that support.
Yeah.
But I'm one of 4 kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And she was still having to hold a job.
Yeah.
To help out.
Yeah.
So the support of a mother was there, but not fully, you know? I was blessed enough to have a couple role models in my life that put me on the right path, and like kind of just when I would sway it over here, because, you know, out there, and I'm pretty sure here in Bakersfield too, for the youth,
for sure,
it's easy to get lost.
Yeah, bro.
You got gangs, you got drugs, you got all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah, it not even just social media in general, bro. Like before it was that, right? You had, but nowadays, bro, like all that stuff is like it's everywhere, bro. Like like I remember, like, you know, like just seeing stuff on the internet, you know, and like listening to certain types of music, like certain all that like influence me, like, and we don't realize that, but it's everywhere now. It's like it's not just people that are in the environment around it. Yeah, that's one thing, like that you're actually seeing it, but also there's another side that, like, for me, example, like I was listening to certain music, I was looking at certain videos, you know, it's like, and just being exposed to it, right? You go to a cousin's house, and you know they're listening to a certain type of music, or they're probably in that environment, and then you're kind of like, oh, like that's cool.
It just feels natural.
It feels natural. So then I think you don't realize it, but it's like it's everywhere now, bro. Like it's crazy, and it's so easily to get influenced by the wrong things.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What would you say that the youth today has an opportunity to do that we didn't have?
Oh, that's a good question, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, while you think about that, I'll give my little short answer.
Go ahead.
So with social media, yes, there is a lot of ways that you could, you know, have your downfall, right?
Yeah.
But as youth now, it's part of life. Social media is part of life now.
Yeah.
You have an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
To change your family's lineage.
Yeah.
You know, there's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that.
Yeah.
And you can literally choose whatever you want to pursue.
Yeah.
And go all in.
Yep, that's true.
And it'll take care of you.
Yeah.
There's people out there that will support you and show you love.
Yeah.
That you never even knew existed.
For sure.
That's one thing I would suggest the youth to do.
Yeah.
Is to find a good reason and spread it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because there is so much negativity out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of darkness out there.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
And this is a little side note, but the LA fires.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My prayers to them.
Amen.
But we see so much darkness like that.
Yeah.
If you have a good reason, especially as a young person, people look at you and you're like, man, that's fire. That's future generations coming up.
Yeah.
The world is in good hands.
Yep.
You know? But that comes with experience.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like we should keep pushing the youth, you know,
I think
and mentoring. Go ahead.
No, before I forget, no, I'm just kidding. But no, that's good, bro. I like that you brought that up. And it's like the nowadays, like the youth, they do have a lot more opportunities, and with like you said, social media and all that. And I think what was the question again? Can you repeat it?
What would you tell the youth to? Or no. What opportunities do the youth have now that me and you didn't have back when we were growing up?
So I think the opportunities that they have now is, of course, I think it's them also. Dang, it's like they have the opportunity, like everything you said, right? Everything you said. I think now they have the opportunity. It's just there's more to, how could I say it? How could I had it, bro? It's like I think we have the opportunity to pour into the youth, to for them to basically learn off of, like our mistakes. I think their opportunity is basically taking, like the good, right? The good of the good and the bad of, the previous generation,
right. And a big thing is I think we're open to share that with the youth, whereas when we were growing up,
we didn't have that.
We didn't have that.
Yeah, so
like everyone was like, shh. When there's a mistake done, don't tell nobody. Keep that sweep it under the rug, right? Whereas now we're like, hey, look, this is what I did. X, Y, Z. That's what happened.
There you go.
Don't do that.
That's exactly what I was trying to get at. Like us early on in social media, we didn't have that. Now, we're able to be in a position where, we're able to bring light to, certain things that weren't talked about with us growing up. Maybe, for X amount of reason, our parents didn't talk to us about it, or whatever. We just didn't have that knowledge, so we kind of had to,
find out,
and now I think we're on the other end of it. So I think the opportunity they have is to basically learn from our mistakes, and even then, them do better. I think that's the goal of every generation, is to see progression, right? And I think our parents did the best that they could, and then we're the fruit of that.
100%.
And now it's our job to continue to be that fruit for for others, and I think you hit it on the nail with that one.
I mean, and going into that, so growing up, it's natural to be a young man, or a young woman, and not knowing what direction to go. But nowadays, like you said, our generation is that fruit. So find someone. Right. How old are you?
24.
24. I'm 28. So our generation should be helping out the teens, right? Coming out of high school, or honestly even earlier than that. Because nowadays, man, I don't know. Do you have nieces and nephews?
I do. They're little though. They're little.
No, mine are too, bro.
They're little, but bro, I know they're so smart. Like
they're so smart.
Yeah, bro. My goodness. And that's the thing, bro. Like technology, all that. Like that's what I'm saying. I think the going back to that question, the benefit they have is they have so much more knowledge. Like there's so much out there, bro. Like
their ability to learn.
Their ability to learn. There you go. Yeah.
Man.
So I think I read somewhere that like the upcoming generation, like they're gonna be the generation that they're gonna have a lot, like way more, like just knowledge and way of doing things. They're gonna be the ones that like
no pressure.
Yeah, but I think like you mentioned, I think it's our responsibility, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's something that it's motivating, bro. Honestly,
no, yeah,
it's motivating and it's encouraging, and it just it kind of puts a fire in you to like hey
100%. 100%.
Because they're the ones that are gonna carry and
yeah. And it's crazy because you know what I do. I work with athletes, and right now, shout out my client Jack. He's redshirted at BC. For football. And he talks to me every now and then, and we chop it up, and he tells me this and that. But I can relate and I guide him. I give him advice, you know. But I tell him take everything with a grain of salt, of course.
For
you know what works for me might not work for you. But I can see that it helps. You know, because there's someone to relate to. There's someone recent that has gone through that same path. Like for you, for instance, you boxed. And you know this, the boxing community here in Bakersfield, it's big. It's big, man.
It's huge.
So them kids, they could look at you or Miguel.
My boy.
You know, and see what worked, what didn't. For instance, myself with Jack. I told him, hey, when you get to college, be careful where you direct your energy. And what I mean by that, we've all been there. After high school, as a young man, you got hormones. You go all lovey-dovey, gaga over beautiful girls, right? And you start focusing on that. And you see, me growing up, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I did go gaga for a couple girls. And I decided to live for them and not work on myself. You know, but I didn't know any better. Because that's all I knew. Is, hey, grow up, get a job, make money, get a family, and that's it. Right? Which, hey, if that's what you want, awesome. All the power to you. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and bash on anybody. But for myself, I want more. I want to break generational curses. And that's part of this. What we're doing.
For sure.
So my advice to the youth would be, you know, it's okay to love. It's okay to love. But don't forget to love yourself. Because the garden you make is gonna attract beautiful butterflies.
For sure.
You know? And another thing is, at a young age, young women don't know what they want.
Bro, that's true.
Don't get me wrong. There's the outlier cases. You know, high school sweethearts that known each other, all that, and I wish them the best. But you yourself as a young man don't know what you want. You don't know your direction. Young women are exactly the same.
That's true.
So don't focus on another person. If you want to grow with that person, that's awesome. Cool.
For sure.
That's where, you know, signs of loyalty need to be present. Because if you don't see that, it's okay. They're for a season. There's people
in your life
just for a season to teach you some stuff. And appreciate those people. Love those people. But afterwards, move on. Improve. Prosper. But yeah, did you have any feed into that?
Kind of go off that. Like for me personally, it was like I know for you is a little different, but for me personally, it was like growing up, like with women in general. Like I didn't have like the like I seen it in my parents, right? What a relationship was, and you know, and all that, like with marriage, and eventually that was always like the goal, you know, like you know, one day, you know, I'll get married and stuff like that. But even growing up, for me, it was like I was influenced in like to be a man, like, cause I was even growing up, bro. Like I had like identity issues, like growing up, and I'm gonna be vulnerable for a little bit. But like honestly, like growing up, bro, like my name was Alexis, right?
Right.
I had like a bi, what do you call it? Like it could be a boy and a girl name, right?
Oh yeah,
you know. But growing up, you know, like I would get made fun of at school because I had a girl name. You know, like when the teacher would like she would say like roll call, right?
Yeah.
And like you know, guys, bro, always cracking jokes. And but as a kid, like that like I was like I felt like I was always trying to prove myself. Like I had to prove myself that I was a man, you know. And then also, you know, I grew up with 3 sisters. I was the youngest. You know, I was the only boy in my family. And like I mentioned, like I never had like my dad, like he was more of just, you know, he would show me. It wasn't like, it was never like him sitting down and talking with me, you know, and having these conversations with me. It was more so my mom. It was always, you know, the feminine side. So I felt like growing up, I had a little more like feminism in me, like in even just my voice and stuff. Because growing up around women, bro, you know. So it was like as a boy growing up, it's like I felt like I was always trying to prove that I was a man, you know, and being influenced by like, you know, my family and, you know, just like my uncles and stuff. Like they would always tell me, like ask me like ¿Tienes novia? ¿Cuántas novias tienes? You know, like you got a girlfriend? How many do you have? Like
which is crazy.
You know, and I think that's just the Mexican culture. You know, the men. You know, sadly, you know, it's something that, you know, that isn't talked about, but it's the truth. You know, it's the truth that a lot of Hispanic households are like that. So again, I just grew up always, you know, thinking that that's what makes a man. When I have multiple girls, that's what makes a man. Or, you know, I had to prove myself. Like no, I'm not feminist. I'm not, you know, like you know, I'm not gay, or I'm not, you know, like, you know, I'm like, you know, thinking that I had to prove myself. And so for me, growing up with like women, it was not valuing them, not respecting them, you know, like I held them at like a value lower than me, you know. And I think that's what, again, a lot of in the culture is like a lot of men view women like that. And but there's value to women, bro. Like I think the man is not above the woman and the woman is not above the man. It's
a partnership.
It's a partnership, right? It's 50-50.
Yeah.
So growing up, I didn't know that, bro. Like I didn't understand that. I thought, you know, the more girls I have, the more, you know, like for me, that was my problem. You know, that was my problem. And you know, by the grace of God, I thank God that, you know, he changed my way of thinking. And it's a struggle, bro. It's just recently, you know, that I kind of started to transition out of that mindset. But yeah, if I could, you know, encourage the youth is, you know, like you said, you know, focus on yourself first. You know, that's the biggest thing right there. I totally agree with that as well, bro. Like as a kid, yeah, you don't know what you want. Women don't know what they want. It's like all you could do is focus on yourself. You know, focus on again, you know, doing the best you can to, you know, again, maybe you might not have that role model, you know, like for example, I was blessed to have that, you know, you didn't, but even then you had people in your sphere of influence that you were able to look up to. So it's like I think even the youth, like I'm sure you have people in your, there's always going to be good and bad, and it's like you could dwell on the bad or you could focus on the good. And it's like focus on the people around you that are doing it right, that you see the fruit of what they're doing. Like if somebody, like maybe you don't have the role model, but go to someone that, you know, or even like my encouragement, like I believe in prayer, bro. So like 100%. like even as a kid, like anything you desire, like pray about it, you know. And I think when you start to pray about it, you start to meditate, or even meditate, right? You start to meditate on those things, you'll slowly start to see those things pop up, and you'll be more aware because it's already in your mind. You're already thinking about it. So it's like,
manifestation,
man. I think, yeah, bro. I don't think things happen, you know, coincidences, right? Like, you know, there are gonna be people in your life where you can learn from, you know, the man above's gonna put those people in your life where you can, you know, and so yeah, I don't mean to ramble.
No, you're good. You're good. No, and going off of you. Yeah. So I'm on the other side of how I would treat women.
Yeah.
So, you know, you said that you had multiple girls at the time that you didn't really treat right.
Yeah, correct.
On the other hand, I was on the other side of that spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, I would find this girl, I love her so much, and just like shower her with love. And put her
above.
She's my goddess, bro.
Yeah.
She's that, like that's it.
And okay.
But even that,
it's not. Bro, it's crazy how balance, right? We're talking about balance, right?
Right.
Like you can't be too like. You can't have her here, but also you can't have her up here, right?
Right.
You guys gotta realize first. You gotta realize your value.
Mm-hmm.
In order for you to realize the value of her, you gotta first realize your value.
Right.
And so it's like sometimes it's like we don't know our value, so then we're trying to. Because I was there too. I had one relationship where I was like, they're like how you like,
right. Yeah.
But it's like so then the moment it's like, dang, I forgot where I was going, but it's like if you don't know your value, of course she's gonna be up here because you're thinking like, oh, she's what fills me, she's what gives me this, she's what gives me that, and yeah, she's feeding that for you. So then you're putting her above, and then on the opposite end, it's like you're just not valuing her, bro. So you're just like using her, and you don't realize that she does have value.
Right?
So
no, yeah. And that's the thing. Values, they're different.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
In a man and woman.
For sure.
What we bring is protection.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
We provide.
Yeah.
It's in us. It's in us. For sure. Right? Yeah. Where I'm not saying that women can't provide. Right?
Yeah.
I know a bunch of women that are hardworking that can provide. But women bring nurturing.
Yeah. For sure.
That energy. Yeah. That feminine energy that should be valued.
For sure. Yeah.
Right? Because that's what helps us as men.
Yeah.
To continue into this world. I mean,
and vice versa. We help them by protecting them.
Right.
And it's a two-way thing.
Right. Sure. But together in cohesion, it's a beautiful symphony.
For sure.
Yeah. And I feel like the youth should be aware of that.
For sure.
Practice it.
Yeah.
Talk to your partner.
Yeah.
About this stuff.
Yeah.
And if they want to go away, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that might not be your person. No matter how much it feels right.
Yeah.
How deep that feeling is of love.
Bro, sometimes feelings are deceiving, bro. One day you could be in love with her, and then you guys have an argument, and what's the next day you totally hate her, and that's what shows that feelings are not they're good. God gave us feelings for a reason, but it's like sometimes you gotta know your value, like you said. Sometimes, and I think that's why it's important that not just men but women also value themselves. And know what like them value themselves too, as well as women. That know that you have value. That same, because it goes the same for girls, bro. Sometimes they go to a guy because
X, Y, and Z.
X, Y, and Z. So it's like even women, I think, should value themselves too, and put the standards of what they want in a guy and stuff like that. So I think even that's important too.
Yeah. Sure. But you see, these type of talks is what the youth need to hear.
Yeah, bro.
But out of all that, in my opinion, where I grew, was in my hobbies, when I played sports, when I was around people with similar mindset, right? That I enjoyed, and I knew that were healthy. I'm not talking about I'm out there smoking and drinking with Paco down the street. No, I'm talking about like I'm at the gym getting this pumping, and I got a group of people that I share ideas with. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And we bounce off of each other.
Yeah, for sure.
So like me and you.
Yeah.
We bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah.
But it's because we have similar values.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And that would be another piece of advice to the youth.
Yeah.
Find yourself a hobby that is gonna help you in the long run, because this is a marathon, right?
Yeah, for
life
sure.
is a marathon.
Yeah,
it's pleasure for just the little quick dopamine rush.
Yeah.
Is not it.
Yeah.
It's not it.
Yeah.
For me, it was the gym.
Yeah.
Basketball.
Yeah.
And I would say training.
Yeah.
Training others.
Yeah.
That's where I think I felt like I got my values.
Yeah.
Because I mean I didn't get into my hobbies until after high school, honestly. Because I had to work at a young age and you know just toxic environment. So that's another reason why I think I valued, like I put women on such a pedestal because that's all I knew. And then once I got my hobbies, I'm like, oh, there's more to life than just that, you know?
For sure.
And when I first found my hobbies, it just kept coming. It just kept coming. Nowadays, I'm like, yeah, let's go try it. Like, honestly, right now I'm doing pickleball.
Okay.
Yeah, pickleball's fun.
Yeah. I've heard about it. I see people play it at the park, but I've never
Dude, it's so fun. If you get a chance,
try. It's kind of like baseball, right?
It's more like tennis.
Like tennis.
Yeah, it's more like tennis, but you know, tennis and Batman put together.
I don't know Batman, bro.
You don't know Batman? Okay, never mind. It's like tennis and ping pong. How about that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I see.
It's cool. It gets you moving. Any age can play it.
That's dope.
So it's fun.
Yeah, I've been trying to pick up hobbies like you said. I don't got too many hobbies besides like working out. Like that's my hobby.
Right. You know? I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah, that one. I tried getting into fishing. I'm still kind of learning.
Fishing. Okay, fishing's cool.
Yeah. But I've been wanting to even just learning new things, bro. I think it's some like whenever you're able to learn new things, it does something to your brain. But I'm trying to get into like learning because I love the acoustic guitar, bro. I love the sound of acoustic guitar. So God willing, want to learn how to play it.
Right on.
But that could be a hobby.
Have you tried it already?
No, I haven't tried it.
Okay.
I haven't tried. I'm trying to get my been saving up money. I got to save up, but once I save up, I'm gonna buy that.
Okay.
But I've been watching videos on it and stuff like that. So.
That's cool, man. That's cool because you see, part of one of my assignments in college was to learn a new skill.
Yeah.
There's a whole list that they had, right? And one of them was learn a new instrument.
Yeah.
It couldn't be a guitar.
Yeah.
Couldn't be a piano. It couldn't be any like mainstream instrument, you know?
Gotcha.
And in my head, I'm like, huh, what? I always wanted to learn piano.
Yeah.
So what can I like bounce off of that? And then I did a quick little Google search of piano instruments.
Yeah.
And I found a thumb piano.
What the heck?
Yeah.
No,
it's cool, man. I have one around here somewhere. But basically, it's the piano with no buttons or anything like that. It's just like a little box.
Yeah.
And every like metal piece makes a different symphony. Yeah. And the assignment was to learn some type of song, some type of rhythm.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just try it.
Yeah.
And after that, that's when I was like, okay, now I want to do just everything.
Yeah.
That's when, because at that age, I was like 22, around there.
Yeah.
And then after that, I picked up swimming. I love swimming now. I love swimming.
Yeah, shout out you, bro. You taught me how to swim.
Got you, man. Yeah. But
wait. He didn't teach me how. I already knew how to swim, but he taught. Hold up, bro, because it's gonna be you were like you didn't know how to swim. Nah, I knew how to swim, but
he knew how to swim.
He taught me how to like properly swim.
I basically taught him how to breathe.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, how to breathe. Yeah. But even that in itself is crazy.
Yeah.
Swimming's a workout, bro.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I remember I got a full body cramp one time. That thing was it hurt. But yeah, man, hobbies is what I feel like as a person will grow you. Yeah. I know athletes in particular, they like to focus on their sport and their sport only.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you branch out, you will see and develop skills that will transfer back to your sport, your area.
Yeah, that's true.
And hey, you never know if you find something else that you love.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, for sure.
That being said, I know you're trying to help the youth with boxing, right? And I mean, just being a better person.
Yeah, for sure. Right?
Yeah. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give?
Shout outs. Shout out my pastor from church. Shout out my pastor from church. Honestly, I'm off the top of my head, that's the only one I can think of.
That's all good.
But no, yeah. Also, my coach, Daniel Kala, for
Right, Coach Daniel.
Yeah, Coach Daniel.
Yeah. You're a real one. You're a real one. You see, and that's another one that he's helping the youth. Like he does it every day.
Yeah, bro. He's committed to it, and yeah, he was always there, bro, taking us to tournaments growing up, and always just he was invested in it, bro. His time and like all that.
See, and it's people
appreciated, bro.
It's people like that that makes me want to do this.
Yeah.
Because I look at him and I'm like, dude, you really doing this?
Yeah.
Like out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
But again, man, thank you for coming.
Yeah, no doubt.
Appreciate
bro. Thank you for having me.
May God bless you and all that you do.
Thank you. Yeah, God willing, bro. Just trying to take it day by day and lean on Him, and
that's all we can do.
That's all we can do. Yep.
Brother.
Appreciate you. Brother. Appreciate you too. Good chopping it up.